Hello, this is Dr. G. Rex Kruhly, the founder of Depth Healing Technology and Sevak of the 81,000 under Sriyama Bhagavan. I wanted to help you understand the difference between enlightenment and awakening. So in modern neurology today, it is widely accepted in science that the frontal cortex of the average person you see, and when I say average, it's probably about 99% of the population, the frontal cortex is only active 5% of the day. Maximum. We're talking maximum, 5% of the day. That's the thinking part of the brain. Especially by the time you reach 30, anything from 30 on. So the subconscious mind is running everybody you see. Okay, it's all subconscious. And the conscious brain is just doing a little bit here and there, 5% of the day. So needless to say, those people are not awake. Now, what happens when a person is awake? Well, all of us have an inner dialogue. And you can think of the inner dialogue as synonymous with the self. Okay? So the inner dialogue, it never stops. And what it's doing is it's giving you your life. It's giving you your happiness or your suffering, your wealth or your poverty, your friends or your enemies. It's doing all of it. And the inner dialogue, it never shuts up. And the trick with unawakened people is the way the human mind operates. It just identifies with anything. So since the inner dialogue is not conscious, the stories just run. And as it runs, we identify with it and we travel that road. Like Eckhart Tolle says, like when you're walking your dog, let's say you're walking him in a forest or a park, and he picks up the scent of a rabbit, and boom, away he goes. He's just running, following that scent trail. That's the way our mind is. You can be going along, and then a thought comes, which is attached to an emotion, which is entangled to another story and a whole slew of associations. It's all subconscious, and away you go. And all of that can be happening while you're driving the car. You're driving the car, but you're not conscious of what you're doing. You're just operating automatically, and the other mind is with the story, and it can be going on about your boyfriend, your girlfriend, what happened at work, and then they'll run in all manner of directions. Meanwhile, you're driving the car. That's how people live. Awakening means that the consciousness rises enough that you can see that. You become aware of the inner dialogue. That's the first step. You're aware of it. And it'll come and go. Come and go, come and go. You go unconscious, you recognize it. You go unconscious, you recognize it. That's the process of meditation. In Vipassana, that's all they do. That's the whole process. They sit because they're trying to eliminate sensory stimulation. There's eliminating sensory stimulation so that they can lock in on the subconscious inner dialogue as it's running. That's why they say what you sit and observe a thought coming and it goes. Because that's what it's doing. They're just coming and going. It doesn't have anything to do with you at all. Never has, never will be. Your brain and everything is an antenna system. The thoughts come in through the bindu right here, and they go out the back of your head. And the what thoughts you pick up depends on your resonance, your level of consciousness. Einstein is picking up a very different information from the thought field than you are. That's why he was Einstein, because his brain's tuned for those frequencies, that level of strata of information. So anyway, the key is that the subconscious inner dialogue becomes observable. You're aware as you're driving the car that your mind's following a story about dinner last Sunday at your mom's house. So you're driving the car, which is what you're doing in the present moment, and you see the thought running the story of the dinner last Sunday. That's the first beginnings of being awake. A higher state of awakening is where you can watch the inner dialogue all the time, at will. But you will have judgments. I shouldn't have thought of that. I shouldn't think this. That's bad. That's good. That's still a low level. A higher level of awakening is you're able to watch the inner dialogue as it's doing its thing, but you do not judge it. You just observe it. That's a high state of awakening. I'm almost there. I'm about 95, 98% there. Enlightenment means the inner dialogue stops. Right? When you look at Eckhart Tolle, the inner dialogue stopped a long time ago. And it's permanent. You can have the inner dialogue stop and start, stop and start. Those are called states. I've experienced fully enlightened states, but I've never remained in that strata, so I'm not enlightened. A fully enlightened person, the inner dialogue stops completely, and then the brain will operate when they need to think. It thinks with tremendous clarity, and when it doesn't need to think, they live in a state of silence, peace, stillness, and it's all permeated by unconditional bliss. That is a ground, fundamental understanding of what enlightenment is. Okay, I just wanted to explain that. Bye for now.